Hello. What's happening? It's a little early to start talking because I'm not sure notifications have really gone around yet. But I'm not doing a countdown or intro tonight. No email or nothing, huh? I'm sorry. I saw that, Clark. I retweeted it. Awesome, Nincodito. How are y'all liking them? I hope that I presented the merch well in terms of what I said the quality was like, which I think is good. Seems to be working, Wolven. Word to vote. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you guys are liking them. Man, I gotta say, like the past 2 days here, it's been hard to go live. Honestly, there's just too much shit. There's too much, and I'm just like stuck in really bad vibes. That's why I switched off of Amnesia yesterday because I didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't feel up to it. I didn't want to ruin the Amnesia run. And after today, man, I'm fucking wiped out. I'm so fucking wiped out. Everybody's kind of been all over the place on this DMCA thing. You know, it's an overreaction. You should be panicking. You know, like it's this huge tug of war, all because there's just no answers. I've kind of been all over the place with it myself. I've been just trying to just get any information I can, you know, to make sense of shit, to try to determine what I should do. But nothing really became clear. In fact, the only thing that I really seemed to change since this happened along the way was it seemed to become more confirmed, in my opinion, that shit is really going to change and we're going to have to adapt or die, is basically what it is. I'm honestly at a point right now where I don't know what's good to do. I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure games will be safe. That's seriously where I'm at right now. I'm evaluating what is a stream, what makes up a stream. Down to the basic building blocks, right? And I tweeted something to this effect, but technically, we don't have the rights to even stream the games, let alone all this other shit. No, it's not. It's not in my head. The biggest streamers on the platform. If the biggest streamers on the platform are deleting all their shit, I just said this in Discord a few minutes ago, but like Dan's Gaming, and Lupo and so on. If they're wiping out their stuff, where normally, the biggest content creators get a pass on everything, right? Like none of this shit usually matters to them. If you see them wiping out all their shit, that's a bad sign. There's been, I can't call it really more than hearsay, but I feel like there's been more confirmation in the direction of that DMCA claims are ramping up than against that idea. So that pushed me more towards it's probably safer to get rid of everything. Something, again, I had just mentioned this in Discord a little bit ago, is the DMCAs that Twitch has had over all time up until this summer were, from what I heard, in the vicinity of like 700 total. Ever. So for however long it's been, 10 years, 11 years. But they had more than 4 times that amount just this summer. Now, I didn't find any solid confirmation of that. I'll be honest with you, in the whirlwind of the past couple days, I'm not even sure where I heard that now. I don't know if I heard that on the creator camp or if I heard that on somebody else's stream or what. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to spread misinformation. I'm trying to explain like where I'm at. I'm pretty sure it was either on Creator Camp or on Devin's stream. Oh, okay. So someone probably got it from Ars Technica, and then I heard it through the grapevine. It's not as much as I thought. I was probably misremembering, but still, it's not a good sign. In June alone. Jesus Christ. $1,800 for a whole month compared to $700 for 3 years. Over 3 years. The important part of that is the acceleration. Sure, yeah. It's just an indicator that it seems like things are going to be continuing in that direction going forward. I would say at best it means that there's some leeway. Arkmaster, thank you for the biddies. Basically, yeah. Enforcement is coming. Yeah, we did have a free pass for a long time. You have to understand my perspective here is that I'm trying to decide what my future is going to be. I love streaming and having this community, and the idea of not being able to do this is worse to me by a lot than even how bad it feels to have deleted all the clips and all these other changes that we're probably going to have to make. VODs probably you're going to have to go. It's not that it's the end of the world, it's that it's an uncertain future here. Because there really are a lot of questions in terms of like, it's honestly right now, based off of the things that I've read and heard and so on, it's not clear to me that even just streaming games is going to be as feasible as it used to be. Because I'm not sure if like the game music can be on. And the reason that that's a problem is because of Twitch's arbitrary interpretation of how to implement DMCA enforcement. You see, the DMCAs and they would not confirm this during Creator Camp, by the way. They dodged this question. But the DMCA enforcement system on Twitch, from what I understand, is an automated system. And once you get 3, I guess you get labeled as they decided that that's the threshold where you are a repeat offender. DMCA says that platforms, to be safe harbors, they have to delete infringing content as soon as they know about it. And they have to remove people from their platform who are repeat offenders. But it's not like the law says 3. It doesn't say that. It's just open to interpretation, I guess. And that's Twitch's interpretation. So the problem with that, obviously, is you play a game. Maybe it just so happens that the soundtrack to that game is something that gets picked up by DMCA bots. You get nailed. You get a permanent strike. I don't know if you just get one. I don't know if somebody makes 3 clips of that game, if you get 3 strikes. That's not been made clear. Yeah, Death Stranding was a game that got muted for its music. There's no understanding by the bots what's legal. It's what the bots can fingerprint, and that's it. We, on this side of the equation, we don't really have any leverage or control. So that's exactly the kind of situation I'm talking about. Is like in the case of Death Stranding, in an environment of more aggressive DMCA enforcement, would I still have a channel and a job or not? And I can't answer that question. And Twitch won't answer that question, apparently, based off of the way they answered questions at their Creator Camp. So that's where I'm at right now. That's why I'm like confused and sort of lost as to what is the way forward. I hate to say this, but there was also talk that live DMCA is on the way. I'm not sure if that has been solidly confirmed, but as I understand it, there's not going to be any safe harbor for content creators. Like you sub only on VODs, that's not going to help you because they're going to be able to go through the API right past the sub wall. They don't have to be subbed to see your videos to DMCA them. Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is, Aruso, I said this on Twitter, but the only things that when you think about streaming, it's rough because I'll honestly admit here, I don't have the right to most of the stuff that I stream. Basically, what you see here and my own self and my voice, the layouts, the stuff I create myself, my own voice and my own persona, that's all I have the right to stream on most of my streams. I don't have the rights to the game. I don't have the right to the game's sound effects, voice acting, soundtracks, visuals, etc., etc., etc. In a strict technical sense. But we have this tacit agreement, this unspoken partnership with games makers that this is a symbiotic relationship that we have. We are like a big advertising machine that they don't have to pay for. And I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know how it works out. Like when streamers play a game, does that translate into more people playing that game? Or does it translate into lost sales? It probably depends very much on what type of game it is. Probably some games benefit from it, like multiplayer games. Among Us, yeah. Some games probably it's a detriment. Like I would imagine single player story games, probably it's probably really bad for those games. Yada yada yada. I don't know how it all falls down. It's probably impossible to get solid numbers on that sort of thing. But yeah, technically, we don't have the right. Practically, it's, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'm honestly trying to answer that question, Xanalar, for myself right now. Because for me, the soundtrack to a game oftentimes is as important to me as the rest of the game. The soundtrack can represent a huge emotional and artistic part of the game that just it wouldn't be the same without. To go back to the Death Stranding example, the part that in particular was muted and kind of ruined for VOD watchers and clip watchers, imagine doing that emotional slow walk in silence. Imagine doing the Snake Eater ladder climb without the Snake Eater song. You know? Mr. My Lawyer Friend. I didn't reach out to this person because I don't know them. Yeah, I really wonder what would happen with rhythm games. I suppose I don't know. I suppose you could only do stuff that's got like an open license. The thing that's really fucking with me a bit is it's even with licensing, that's really no guarantee because of Twitch's system that I explained before. Because just because you have a license, that only helps you after you get a DMCA claim, right? The DMCA bots and people or whatever don't have like a database of, oh, Coestar has a written license permission to use this music. It doesn't check that. It just gives you a DMCA and then you have to dispute it. So again, if you just get blasted with 3 before you have an opportunity to do anything, you're done. Oh, don't give me that. Don't look. Law is irrelevant in this completely. I've been saying this the past couple days, but and this is just my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice. But as far as I'm concerned, there is no such thing as fair use. Innocent until proven guilty is just a joke here. Uh, the law is irrelevant. Fair use has been dead forever because there's no, if you use 30 seconds or less of something. I mean, another problem is a lot of people don't even really understand fair use. It doesn't exactly translate to a free pass for anything that's used for less than an amount of time. Yeah. The problem is to even employ fair use, it's a court thing. It's not some sort of protection that you can just. But fair use, though, no, it doesn't matter. You're getting slammed first, and then fair use is way down the line after lots of money and time. Well, as far as I understand it, Project, there is no such thing as a claim. If you want to try to equivocate or compare Twitch's system to YouTube, then the closest you could get it is Twitch's muting system is the closest thing they have to YouTube's Content ID system. But still fucking far from it. Let me be clear. And then DMCAs are equivalent-ish to YouTube's copyright claim strike system, which is different from Content ID. And that's why YouTube is better, because they have Content ID. Content ID is the buffer. Because, like, I don't think people... I don't think actual copyright strikes are that widespread on YouTube because the buffer exists. If copyright strikes were the only means for copyright holders to do anything, then strikes would be just rampant. But there's a buffer. And there's also things like YouTube gives, for Content ID matches, YouTube gives the revenue to the claimant as well. So there's way less incentive to jump straight to a copyright strike. So in practice, strikes really only happen in the case of like very egregious things, like if you're uploading a full-ass movie to YouTube or some shit. But yeah, basically, I'm not saying what YouTube has is great, but what YouTube has enables content creators to continue to exist in a way that Twitch doesn't have. And that's the big problem here. There's no buffer. Twitch isn't really protecting you. The whole like auto delete thing that they were talking about, it's not that helpful really. And if you want an idea of how effective that find and delete shit was that they did, I mean, I had a clip that was just, it was just a clip of Take On Me, the song. There's like nothing fucking happening in the clip, just a PUBG guy waving his arms. But the whole thing is just the fucking song. Nothing else is happening. I'm not talking. Their bot didn't find that. It's raining men. Yeah, exactly. Like, it didn't find any of that shit. So, yeah, well, the joke would be on me when I get fucking nailed and deleted. But I didn't come on here to complain. This is more of a sort of a vent and explain. Because clips are gone now. They're all gone. BFA made a genius first new clip of the new era. The most perfect possible clip, I think, on any channel right now. On the entirety of Twitch. It's an amazingly perfect clip for the situation. Here. Wow, me and Richie in perfect synchronization. Well, so for the moment, I have clips restricted to sub only to mainly keep it to a manageable level. You know, because I guess one thing for me is that I'm going to be much more meticulous and careful. You know, I'm going to keep an eye on things. And think more about what I'm putting out there and whether it's a good idea. Now, a lot of this is on me because I just did whatever I wanted and just felt like, you know, nothing was ever going to happen. The hammer was never going to come down. But that's obviously... the debt has come due. Right? Oh, wow, that sucks. Is that the, what is it? What is his name? Commander something or other tool? The Commander root tool with the filters. Well, so, you know, I want to do something like that, Beer. Here's where I'm at. This isn't the only thing going on. I've been kind of in nightmare land for the past few days. Apart from everything going on in the outside world that sucks, I've got my day job that I'm dealing with. And then there's this whole Twitch situation. And there's the packing and moving thing. And there's the finances related to that, all the costs that we're having to deal with to make that happen. And I don't I don't know that I'm going to have time to work on really any of this until after we are moved and settled. Like, I want to do that very much. And I feel like it's important to do that. But I don't see how I could do that rather than like continue to get shit packed. Like, that's way more important because we have a deadline now. We have to have everything packed up and ready to go. So I have to basically push that until after we're moved. We're moving in December. So I'm just not in a great place right now. And there's some other things going on that I don't feel like talking about that are not making things real great either. It's fucking weird how sometimes life just takes a big ass shit on you. Like when it sunk in like what a thing this DMCA thing was going to be, I I was just shocked. Like, how is this happening now? I really thought like, holy fuck, I'm going to lose my channel, and that's like half of my income. I'm losing my job. This was my initial reaction. So it's pretty serious. Yeah, it's just bad timing, that's all. This would be a very bad time to lose a job. And yeah, absolutely, it sucks for fucking everybody. Like, there's so many people that I know personally that are not in the best place right now. Not to mention, given everything that's going on, I'm sure that's true for like so many others. And then you have this shit happen too. It just piles on and piles on and piles on. It's crazy. Hey, that's awesome, Punkster. I'm glad to hear it. Taking care of yourself. Well, you know, Xanalar, I think a lot of people are relying on that thought. But the thing is, Twitch absolutely can make wrong decisions. And they absolutely are totally capable of making such a wrong decision that it all unravels. Everything is always sort of teetering on a knife's edge, no matter how secure it seems. All it takes is a steady chain of bad decisions, and it can all fall apart. They are kind of known for making some pretty damn bad decisions. Yeah, I agree, Slash. Like, there's a lot of things they could have done to make this so much better for us that they just didn't. But I don't know how feasible, like, I don't know how long the length of time was that they were sitting on this before what just happened. But on the other hand, they have been going around kind of smugly saying, well, you were warned. We saved your asses. So I don't feel all that charitable to them. I was so astonished at the behavior of the Twitch staff that were in the creator camp chat, being sarcastic to people Uh, I just don't understand that at all. I just don't get it. I don't know how it makes them look like a bunch of fucking children. Honestly, it makes them look like immature kids that don't know what the fuck they're doing. That they don't know that there's a lot of people who have their livelihoods tied up in this site now. Like it or not, it's obviously a job for any partner any partner above a certain size. And for them to act like, well, you're all stupid, we didn't do anything wrong. Like, all right, okay, that's weird. It's pretty weird, guys. Not a good look. But yeah, I agree. Slash, the simplest thing that they could have done would have been to simply implement something where we could private stuff. Just a private everything button would have really helped a lot of people, so that we could take the time to archive things that we wanted to archive, or maybe, until some other solution is discovered, maybe some way of like automatically purging music, whatever. I just, who knows, but just something to preserve, something that would actually help content creators. Honestly, I probably would have just been satisfied with more concrete answers. I would have taken that. Just clarity, transparency, so that I know what's going on and can make proper decisions. Well, so I fucking hate Facebook. So that's out for me. So if I were going to go anywhere, the only really viable place to go is YouTube. I simply will not go to Facebook. That is it. I will not do it. The only reason I have a Facebook is to communicate with family. I completely eliminated anybody who was not direct family. It was, I took it as far as I could. I removed all my personal information. It's basically just a communication device. I would delete it, but then I basically would lose communication with my family entirely. That's the thing is, to some degree, I like Twitch for various reasons that are hard to untangle from the company. You know, there are things that they have right that other, like even Mixer, which was an approximate Twitch, right? Mixer was the closest thing to Twitch, in terms of how it presented streams, how it presented chat, the way it all worked together. And even Mixer I didn't really like. It was like off somehow in a way that Twitch isn't, even with all of the shitty bullshit that Twitch has done with their UI. There's just still some core thing there that they haven't quite ruined. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else. Because we all know that they've definitely done some pretty terrible UI stuff, especially lately. Like all the automatic shit that it does, fuck off with that. Fuck the fuck off. Get these videos out of my background. Stop changing the page for me. Stop playing the videos that I don't want played. What are you doing? This fucking website is alive and I want it dead. Kill this thing. It's doing too much shit all on its own. It's fucking possessed. I think Hitbox was all right, if I remember. I streamed there one time as a test, I think. I think it was okay. Well, so like, hey, Scaraban, thank you for 39 months. Jesus Christ, the alerts are so much more intense when there's nothing else playing. It's so fucking shocking. By the way, I'm sort of kind of in the clear with all the alert stuff, except for the one that's literally a fucking song. That has to go. I should probably disable that, to be honest, before it becomes a problem. Where are you, Stream Elements? But, I got all the sound effects from... Yo, Woodhop, thank you for 42 months. I got all of the audio effects from Freesound. And I think the only fuck up there... Cypher, thank you for that gift sub to Slash. The only fuck up there is I think possibly some of them have... they may have required attribution that I forgot to get. But I could pretty easily amend that, I think. But there's no... other than that, I don't think there's any particular risk. I also don't think that those people are going around running DMCA bots and takedowns and stuff. But if I want to be on the up and up... Hey, Kingster. Thank you for that gift sub to Rudy. Dude, I have this on all my layouts. I have to turn it off on all my layouts. I have too many layouts. Oh, God. Which one even is it? It must be this one. Oh, and it's tips and cheers, too, so fuck me. Little Lady Lauren, thank you for the tip. I very much appreciate that. I will hang in there. I'm not going to stop, I'll tell you. I'm in for the long haul, and whatever I got to do to figure this out and navigate this, I'm going to do. You know, so don't worry. Sometimes you got to get through some tough times. Come Preacher's probably safe, right? I'm going to turn off Beast. Oh, man. The faith stuff is technically I'm kind of stealing, hey? I mean, they're tributes, but they're not mine. Can phone alerts be bad? Oh, you mean like... So, actually, this did come up. The ringtone on my phone might be a DMCA problem. And I wonder if I should... I wonder if I should just switch it to some fucking generic fucking ringtone, right? It's like a song. I don't know which one it is, but it's a Samsung song. I turned off Beast for tips. So yeah, I figured we'd just chill and shoot the shit tonight and kind of talk this out, let you guys know where I'm at, what's going on. I'm real sad clips are gone. Even though we saved them, the the numbers are gone. That shit's over. Numbers aren't that important, but it's like it's just sad because it represented a moment that we had. So it's not so much about how much the numbers were in the sense of like, ooh, big numbers, but like that was something people cared about. That's sort of like a measure. Like the biggest one on my channel was Good almost sitting on those headphones. And I always cherish that moment. And we still have it, we'll have it in video form, but somewhere. I downloaded the top 3,000, so we have them. Maybe I can make YouTube clip compilation videos or something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this just represents a whole different angle of content creation for me. Maybe I'll reevaluate what I do and try to do different things. Top 3,000 non-muted clips. Well, the advantage of YouTube is Devin was talking about this on his stream today and yesterday, but if you just download all your clips and upload all of them to YouTube, like on private, YouTube will tell you what ones trigger copyright. And you can have confidence in those results as being accurate, like, okay, these are the things that would have got me DMCA'd. You know what I mean? Use a different platform's fucking system to tell you what you should do on another platform. It's wild. Well, YouTube's system is more accurate to copyright. So you actually can trust YouTube's by far more. Remember, it's addressing an external system. So it doesn't have to be accurate to whatever the fuck Twitch's system is. It has to be accurate to the DMCAs coming from the outside. So that's the same for Twitch and YouTube. Well, the false positives aren't coming from Twitch, though, is the point. Twitch only does the muting thing. And I guess now they're going to delete things, too. But that shit doesn't have anything to do with your channel getting destroyed. The forces that destroy your channel come from the outside. And they're the same ones that YouTube is subjected to. So basically, like, if you view it as like a system of natural selection, YouTube is actually evolved and would survive, whereas Twitch would be, like dead lying next to a rock somewhere because they didn't evolve. They didn't evolve the necessary organs to survive in the new environment. Well, I'm not saying that that's what I would do. I'm not saying I would rely on that. Nothing in any of this is a guarantee, but it would be more information and more useful than anything that Twitch provides. That's the point. The other reason that you could rely on it pretty solidly is because of the fact that people on YouTube aren't getting DMCA'd hardly at all. It's totally different. But it is true that without the buffer, it still is less safe than you would be if you just put everything on YouTube and that's where you hosted all your content. So you're right about that. Like, even if you sorted everything based off of what YouTube said was safe and then put it back on Twitch, you're still not going to be as safe. So you're right. Sorry, I'm just editing my layout still to delete the beast. The beast must die. Chew, speaking of, what are you doing? Come here. We have this gate for him to sometimes shut him either in or out of the bathroom area. And I don't know what he was doing, but it sounded like he was fucking trying to eat it. What are you doing, bud? Can you chill? Have you considered chill? You don't have to munch the world, dude. He really pissed me off earlier because he munched me. He did that thing where he got all amped up because he realized that I was going to go out of my office. And while I was walking out, he fucking bit the back of my calf, and it was so bad. He is a special boy. A little too special. I'm trying. Dude, I am incapable of training dogs. I don't understand it. I've tried like various different methods of how you're supposed to do it, and I am shit at that. I am not good at it. All right. The beast is dead. No more beast. We are safe from the beast. Whoa. Holy Lord. Tringard, thank you for the biddies. No, I left Come Preacher alone. Because I don't think that one's... I don't think that one's a problem. But I know I could be wrong. It's a lot of this is like, I don't know. I could be wrong. Who the fuck knows? Kirby, thank you for those biddies. That's true, Walker. But I think that the reason for that is because of Content ID within YouTube, which is a little bit different. Yeah, same / I don't know. That's what I'm currently pissed off about, is not having any clarity on whether or not it's going to be okay to even have the soundtrack playing with the game. But yeah, on YouTube, there's a system where if you've uploaded a video, you can have YouTube hunt down suspected re-uploads of your content. So that's not necessarily... That doesn't mean that there's DMCA running around out there for those videos outside of YouTube. But, you know, it's a fair point. That's kind of what I'm thinking, Walker. I like the way you put that. We're gonna go down we're gonna go down in the depths. We're gonna run silent, and we're gonna watch and wait, see what's up. That dude's a dick. Oh. I know what you're talking about. The Stadia thing. Don't even pay that any mind. That was just a bullshit attention-seeking tweet, in my opinion. Yeah. Don't worry about it. He's already been hot taked into the ground. So I think that beast has been Vanquished. Yeah, that was Slasher's tweet. That was Stadia's most effective marketing ever. But there is a not an insignificant number of developers out there who do feel like um, streamers shouldn't exist. And from a technical point of view, they're not necessarily wrong. But not necessarily from a practical point of view. That kind of shit has happened often, Xanalar. I've heard many, many times where, like on YouTube, big networks would they'd upload a trailer for a movie that they made, and then they would copyright claim the trailer that they made and uploaded to their own channel and take themselves down. That's happened often. Because these systems are generally dumb. They're automatic. Or one head doesn't know what the other's doing kind of thing. Like the network marketing department will put something up and the network lawyer department will take it down. That kind of thing. Because the ones where they get their own channel always fuck me up, because I'm like, you're protected from, you can't content ID your own channel. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even work that way. But if it's actually a manual claim, so from their own lawyer department, they can take down their own channel. So that's probably how shit like that happened. I mean, if you think about the history of content, there's always been this gray area. The media companies fought super hard against VHS, for example, because the fact that people could record off of TV, or they could copy movies, or they could do whatever, obviously they were like, holy shit. I mean, we sell these things. If people can just make copies, how are we going to sell more than one copy of a movie? And, in just like a logical perspective, I understand that. But what have we done? Right? I mean, some of you are probably too young for VHS or whatever, but copying and sharing and stuff on the DL, or not so much the DL, is kind of like normal, right? There's just a lot of gray area to all this shit. And also, I think that the gatekeepers of created stuff also, they can have an overzealous or draconian point of view. I would imagine if they could stop you from having a friend over while you play a video game, they probably would. You didn't pay for that video game. You're not allowed to. Your eyeballs aren't allowed to touch that. Your friend has the right, but not you. I could envision that being a mentality that they could justify. Please drink verification can. So there's all these technicalities and flex and weirdness to all this sort of stuff. Pardon. Excusez-moi. That's true, yeah. That's certainly a factor, is that there's a cost prohibitive. I mean, there's a lot of this is dictated by who has how much money, right? So as you say, taking it to the nth degree for the people with the money that own the content would be more expensive than to just let there be a gray area. On the flip side, like when we were talking about fair use, because you don't have money, fair use basically doesn't exist for you, right? Because you have to have enough money to defend yourself to the degree of going to court over it. And by that point, it's like, was it worth it to go to that degree? You know, it's going to cost you maybe all the money you have to prove that you were in the right. No one's going to do that. Nobody. Yeah, it's a fair point, Wolf, and it might open the floodgates. Just like maybe they weren't opening, but because this happened, it causes them to. Perhaps, I don't know. But I mean, from the sound of things, it sounds like it was already ramping up anyway. Hey, Mr. M. Fretwell, thank you for 61 months. Congrats on your milestone, my dude. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is that on the whole, this stuff is not really clear as sort of a baseline, right? So it makes sense that this is all going the way that it's going in some weird twisted way. Yeah, I'm going to be giving a lot of thought to how we proceed going forward here. I will say that I'm unsettled on how to handle VODs. But a lot of the biggest streamers did opt to delete their VODs. Clips, I think, are the main thing from everything that I was listening to and reading. Those are the most important thing to probably get rid of. I'm not exactly clear on why that is exactly. But that's the word on the street. Yeah, I don't know if it's because they're more easily accessible, easier to evaluate, something like that. Maybe they're easier for bots to digest quickly. But it certainly seems like everyone's conclusion is that your probably best bet is to wipe out clips for sure. Play games that only have no sound. That's a strategy. Yeah, well, I mean, we had that world for a while, didn't we, Slash? I don't know. I like clips. I think clips were one of the best things that Twitch did. I don't think I would happily go back. Because, God, I'd probably have spent more time watching clips on Twitch than watching Twitch. Like watching actual streams. I can't tell you how many times I've gone back to clips after we had like a funny night, you know? Like, Jesus, dude. Oh, like Justin and Apollo that the other day when they were going through the Mario clips and they were just laughing, you know? That one Wreckfest we had where we were talking about whether or not the Pope had gay sex. I watched the clips of that fucking stream. I wore those clips the fuck out. Nothing left in those clips. uh, Dude, it's one kind of nice thing about this is has it's been a bit of a nostalgia tour, walking down memory lane. There's some stuff I forgot about. There's one I watched earlier that I kind of forgot had happened because of this whirlwind of a year. It wasn't really that long ago, but when I had made and then hid from everybody that fucking Rat King shirt in Trials, and then we finally had the big unveil, and I had the perfect emote for it with the superhero one where you drop down and you can't actually even see it still until he stands up and puts his arms in the air. Oh, that one made me laugh, caught me off guard. And making my friends laugh gives me life. I love hearing my friends laugh. That's the best thing. I like that so much that if anybody else was streaming, I'll go to their view to go just watch them laugh. Justin is particularly great for that because he has such a reaction to some things. Like, I can measure how good of a joke or slapstick type of thing or whatever it was by how long Justin disappears from his camera. Yeah, how far he's bent over. If he disappears forward, and you know it's going to happen too if he hits his desk first. He'll hit his desk and then he'll bend over and disappear. So just watch for the hit. You know you've done right. Oh, yeah. Well, we've got some amazing laughs in the friend circle. And some of them, I can't help but to laugh at them laughing. Yeah, Apollo's silent laugh with the sudden... that thing where he's just... The laugh is him just gasping for air. There's like no laugh. So sometimes it's hard to tell he's even laughing until you hear the gasp. Dave has an amazing laugh. Jasky has an amazing laugh. I think out of everybody, I have probably the worst laugh. I don't think my laugh is very good. I think I have a strained laugh. The thing is like some people's laughs are so joyous. That's the best ones are the most joyous ones. I think that's where Dave's lives. Because when Dave laughs, and this is not, I don't think he would be offended by this description, but I'm going to say it's not meant like negatively at all. But it's like a baby laugh. It has a purity to it like the way a baby laughs. where it's like it's consuming him. Like he's genuinely laughing his fucking ass off. Oh, dude. Nee, those are my favorite. I love the best thing is when you drop something out there and then there's a moment of processing before the bomb actually goes off. That's the best feeling. I love that so much. It took them a second to realize what the fuck I had said. I'm not the king of Minecraft. I don't hold any alt-right views. Wait, what does that mean? I live for that shit. It was what was that? Was that the beginning of like a Thursday Boys, I think? Or that might have been the beginning of one of the last Huskles, actually. When everyone was still assembling. Everybody got burned out and quit. That's what happened to Huskles. I mean, we were doing it every week for a year and a half, so it was bound to happen sometime. I was pretty fucking sad about it. But there's some aspects of my personality that are not the best. And one of them is I can keep doing the same thing if I like it almost indefinitely and be satisfied. I could eat the same thing every day and not be bothered. Which causes such a problem for me and Nakomi because she's totally the opposite. She cannot eat the same thing every day. She'll lose her mind. So whenever she asks me, like, well, what do you want to eat? And I'll just, I don't know. I'll eat the same thing I had yesterday. That probably does help to actually stream every day because it doesn't bother me. If it's something I like doing, I'll happily just do it every day. Hey, you know, variety is good. It's pretty boring to just eat the same thing every day. I'll admit that. I will absolutely admit that. But there are advantages to that because I could just get a bunch of one thing and I'm good. Like, I could seriously stock up because all I have to do is fill the freezer with that one thing. I have plenty. I'll be good for forever. Now, that said, after a certain amount, I do get tired of a particular thing. I need the most minimum amount of variety, basically. I could eat a chicken sandwich probably 6 out of 7 days of the week. And that 7th day, I'd probably have to be muscling it down. I'd be like, you know, I think I've had enough. I guess this might be too much. I was disgusting when I was in university. I would eat because, you know, I was taking care of myself. And taking care of myself meant like having like a fucking bologna sandwich for every meal. Just because it was simple and easy. Like, I just don't... I've just not really cared that much. My problem is... I don't think as much now. But it was, at the time, certainly always wanting to just get back to the computer. And even taking the time out to make food was like, man, I don't want to spend all this time. I just want to make something extremely fast and portable. I just want to throw a sandwich together and get back to the fucking computer because I am a disgusting slob. But I'm not quite so much like that now. There's still some element of that, you know. It's like a shitty superpower. I still have that. I could still do that, but I choose not to. That's where I'm at. That's good for some things, not for others, Zick. I mean, it very much depends on what it is, right? Pizza, yeah, pizza totally works cold, in my opinion. Although, that's a habit I changed too. Because, again, remember, I said I was fucking disgusting. I will eat leftover pizza. Like, my current status is, I generally, I prefer to heat up a cold pizza. But, if I'm feeling extra lazy, I'll fucking have a cold slice of pizza. It's fine. When I was in university, I would eat pizza that I left on the counter overnight, out the box. That's gross. Yeah. It's kind of gross. Depends on the number of days. And I'll honestly say right now, I don't know how many days was my limit at that time. I don't know how far I took it. I will say, I visited someone at their apartment one time, and we had left a pizza out on the counter overnight. Next day, I was like, hey, we had some pizza left over. I could go for a slice. I opened the box up, and there's some motherfucking cockroaches standing on that pizza. And after that, I never did that again. Never again. That was the end of it for me. When I saw that, that didn't leave my brain. But that wasn't my place. My place wasn't full of cockroaches, okay? So it's a little bit different. That was a lesson I got to learn from someone else. And I thank them for that forever. What a sentence, I have worm trauma. Sounds like a status effect. Alright, your character has high stats, but they have worm trauma. Deal with that. It sounds like robot concerns. I also thought of that. I used to be a pizza sicko. I'm not now. I'm not now. Oh, God. Do any of you remember when I was talking about the glory of putting a little cup of water in the microwave when you reheat a slice of pizza so that the crust doesn't get all hard? I think I said that on like one of the Minecraft podcasts or something, and then we had all these stupid ass comments from people saying, "It blew up my microwave." Like, what the fuck did you put in your microwave? Did you put a canteen in there? Did you put a fucking metal, like, tin cup? Like, what the fuck did you put in your microwave? Are you stupid? You can put a glass in your microwave. Or a paper cup or something. Like, a normal cup you can put in your fucking microwave. Don't put things that aren't microwave safe in your fucking microwave. Yeah, I think someone did pour it on their pizza, which is also, like, how did you hear this wrong? Was it Milby that did that? Come on now. That can't be right. It's funny to me because it's not a complicated concept at all. It just isn't. It's the simplest thing. I was so taken aback by everybody's like reaction to it. I was not prepared. Is there anybody here who doesn't know what I'm talking about, like what that does? I assume everybody here probably knows. Okay. There's a couple. So, if you want to reheat a slice of pizza, you may have experienced where you'll pull it out of the microwave and the crust, if you eat the crust, I know some people don't, but if you eat the crust, it can get fucking hard because when you reheat it, it loses all of its moisture, so it just becomes a brick. But if you put a little cup, a microwave safe cup with a little bit of water in the microwave with the slice of pizza, the moisture from the cup of water will keep the crust moisturized. I can understand not eating the crust. I mean, the main event of a slice of pizza is the cheese and toppings and sauce part, right? But I like the crust, personally. Sometimes the crust is awesome. Depends on the kind of pizza you have, right? Like, I like a pizza that's got a little bit of seasoning on the crust so that the crust is almost like when you get to the end of the slice, the crust is almost like a breadstick, you know? Yeah, kind of semi-chewy. Yeah. And you know what's really good is that if you have some pizza sauce, you dip that motherfucker. Sometimes I dip the slice of pizza in. I don't even wait for the crust. I'm getting more sauce. One of my favorite things, I'm not even sure existed. I don't even know if it existed. It's been so long, and I've never seen it again. And I imagine it's because it's hard to do. But I think Freshetta, had a sauce-stuffed crust pizza. I honestly don't know if it was real. Because I never saw it again. I had it once, and it blew my fucking mind. I've never seen another sauce-stuffed crust pizza ever again. Sauce stuffed. So there's pizza sauce in the crust. Hey, Iggsy. Well. I don't have any clips anymore if that tells you how this day's going. Ha ha ha, rip is a mood. Kingster, thank you for that gift sub. Are you sure about that food? I don't recall them ever putting sauce in their stuffed crust. I thought it was always just cheese. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that was not a typo. I'm pretty sure that was intentional, pubs. Don't rip those. True that BFA captured the most ultimate first clip after disaster on Twitch, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything comparable. A different king, I think, from who you're thinking of, Punkster. Oh, that's not. No, that's not true, JJW. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah, Punkster, I haven't seen that king in a long time. Honestly, not since back in the day. Likewise. No, that's a totally different person, Punkster. I think. No, I'm thinking of somebody else altogether. I'm my bad. I'm the wrong one. That is the same person. What is this? Oh no, is this a picture of a hot dog stuffed crust? I don't want to see this. Ugh. Get the fuck out of here. That's terrible. That I consider blasphemous. Disgusting. What is this? What is this? Sick? Oh my fuck. You're banished. Yeah, this is the real scream-a-day right now. I'm screaming at this shit. Yeah, I was thinking of KK. Yep. I'm sorry. The barking has begun. Nakomi's yelling at him from a distance. It's not going to do anything. He cannot be stopped. But yeah. So, this weekend we've got the marathon. And I've backed off from hosting any segments, but I'm still planning on participating in segments where I can. So we're not doing 2 bananas tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do a regular stream tomorrow or not. I think I probably am, because I don't think my marathon commitments are until very late at night, or even like early morning. Yeah, it'll be probably a 1 banana type situation. I don't know about Undo Crew either. I've got to check my schedule obligations. I could look at that now, actually. I'll take a peek. So, Saturday. I do have something when we would normally do on Do Crew. But I don't have to. There's actually too many... No, wait, actually, never mind. That is the exact number of people necessary. So I do have to do it. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, I've got some obligations here. Well, we'll see. We shall see. I don't think we're going to be able to do Undo Crew, though. I think we have to give it a skipperoo. Yeah, I'm going to be in both UHCs. That's the plan. So, and as far as my own stuff, I'm going to try to figure out, like, what am I doing? Maybe I'll try to do things with the soundtracks off for a bit, just until we see what the heck happens tomorrow. And over the next week or two. And I'm just going to keep an eye on things and see what the fuck's going on, you know, basically. And we're going to play it by ear, but this is the new era. Things may be different from here on. That's what I thought too, Slash. It's I blame Twitch for this uncertainty. That's the trouble right now. I want to wait and see what happens. That's all. I think that it probably won't come to having to have soundtracks off on games, but I can't help but feel a little cagey about it. Yeah. Whatever the case, I'm going to keep doing stuff. We're going to keep going. Thank you to everybody who's been trying to help these past couple of days. It's been honestly really, really, truly helpful. And I thank you for that. There's a lot of people who have been rescuing VODs. So for the most part, nothing will be truly lost. It's just going to be distributed across the world. And hopefully sometime at some point in the future, we'll be able to piece everything back together in one location. But that's just not the concern right now. The main concern is to just get through this sort of paradigm shift or whatever it is, and we'll deal with it as it goes. We'll deal with whatever comes. So thank you guys, really, honestly. And I will be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging with me and chatting with me. It's been good. I feel a little bit better. You guys have a good night. I'll see you next stream.